Grand Horizons. Hope you're having a blessed day. It is boiling here. It's absolutely roasting. Luckily, I'm sat in the shade for the moment. But yeah, not good in the heat. But today I want to talk about ponds. I want to talk about all the different kinds of ponds that I have. And just how important they are. Like, a lot of people think it's more important to have one big pond, and actually it's more important to have like lots of little ponds in different kind of environments, and like different kind of with different plants, and you know, just so it's accessible to different places. And what I'm going to show you today is all the different kinds of ponds that I have, and how I've made them and what I've made them from. So obviously we all know that it's really important for birds to have access to clean water. It doesn't have to be like super clean. It's not like, you know, birds aren't as fussy as us. But what I do try to put in all of my ponds is this, which is duckweed. It's really like sort of cheap to buy, or you could go and like forage a teaspoonful out of an already established pond. But this just oxygenates the water. It you know, it brings life to it. It also provides coverage for anything that might want to live in there. They wouldn't live in this one because it's above ground, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But yeah, it's just a really good way of sort of, you know, it tends to keep mosquitoes out as well, from like laying eggs in there, if there's like a full coverage. But yeah, this is one pond, and this was like an old toy box thing that I had, you know, like the big silicone tubs. I'll show you. So it's just a big silicone tub. I filled it up with water. I kept this one above ground, so that it's more accessible to bigger birds like pigeons. The pigeons do like this one actually. I mean, all the birds like it, but what I've done in this one is because it's above ground, um, and some of the birds might not want to just sit on this edge bit. They might feel a little bit vulnerable. So what I've done is I've put a stack of bricks in the middle, and that acts as like a little sort of stone for them, like a little landing pad. A little landing pad. It's a landing pad. A little landing pad anyway for them to just sort of be on. I will probably top this up tonight because I'd like ideally for the water to be at brick level. But yeah, this is one. I mean, like, what? It's like a silicone top, about £6 or £7. There you go. There's one little pond for £6 or £7. I haven't done anything else with this one. Literally, just put a few stones at the bottom, the stack of bricks, water, fresh water, and rainwater, and there's like a scoop of the pond weed from the little pond that we had. So it was from an established pond. So it'll have like all the little micro bacteria and organisms in there that create healthy water and life. But yeah, that's one. Number two. So this is the first pond that I put in to this garden. I did do a little video of me doing it, which I'll put in the description. It was really easy. Like, it was an old washing up bowl. I dug a little hole. It's so simple. I put it in. I'd already collected some rainwater in one of the silicone tubs, and I put rainwater into the washing up bowl. I already had some duckweed that I'd brought with me from my old house, from my old pond. Put some stones in there, made sure that it's got like a nice little stepping stone here. And this one's really cute because all the birds like to line along the the plant pot here. This one, they all line along here, or the wooden board, and they take it in turns to have a little dip. It's really cute. And I just I just got some plants that I already had and separated some of them. I've noticed there's a little hawthorn growing here, which is pretty cool. Some wild strawberries. There were some daffodils in here and some bluebells, but like they've kind of died back now. Yeah, it's all doing its thing really. It's been quite sort of productive, this pond. Like, it's gotten a lot of attention. Like I said, all the birds like to sort of line up along here and they like to have a little dip. And then we have like a collared dove that comes. I don't know what happened. She doesn't have a he or she. I can't quite work it out which one it is. But they don't have a partner. It's just them on their own. And they keep coming to the mirror and looking at themselves, and they'll hop from stone to the to the plant pot, and they'll just look at themselves. They'll turn around, then they'll look at themselves again, and then they'll jump over here, and then they'll look at themselves again. It's really cute. Yeah, very cute. But no, this one's been doing very well actually. I'm really happy with this one. It's got quite a lot of life in it, doing its thing. Yeah. Number 3. Okay, so this pond is my hidden secret pond, and I wanted this one to be a little bit wild. I wanted this one to be very covered. It's actually going to be a lot more covered than I was planning, because I put this, so I put this little rhubarb crown in front of it, because in the old house, literally probably had about 3 sticks in 3 years out of this plant. It just was not doing very well. It wasn't happy, so I was like, oh okay, well I didn't want to get rid of it, so I I put it in the ground here thinking, oh, I'll just make a small plant, and because literally 3 years I've had this and it's barely done anything, and I was just like, oh, maybe it's a dud. It's just a dud. It's just a miniature one, like, that's just how it is, that's just the size of it. And I put it in here, and I've already harvested from this patch 3 times. They are a little bit spindly, but they're new, so this is actually going to get like quite big and cover this pond quite significantly, which is fine. So this pond I was putting in, and this was the one where I was putting this one in, and one of the neighbours knocked on. I'd not long been living here. She said, oh, do you want some plants? I'm just sorting out my garden and got some spare plants, and they were all plants from around her pond. They were like these black grasses that got really cool purple flowers on. There was some sort of like other grasses. There were some water irises. There were some reeds. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And I just kind of left this one again. The birds like this one. They come and have a little sort of play in here. And it's just like nice and covered and hidden. I think if I'm going to get frogs in any of the ponds, it'll probably be in this one. Again, I dug it into the ground. It didn't maintain its shape when I put the soil around it. It kind of turned into a wibbly wobbly. But I put quite a lot of the stones out of the soil into it. I put like a handful of soil at the bottom. And then I just got bigger stones and stacked them up at the side, so you can't really see, but there is like stones that comes about maybe that much from the surface, so it is accessible by, frogs and other animals. So, but I like this one. This one's kind of hidden. I don't have to do much with this one. I am going to have to just maybe weed it a little bit occasionally and cut things back. I've tried to keep it sort of just doing its own thing, really. There's like honeysuckle here, there's bindweed coming up here. I'm not quite sure what this bush is, but there's nettles, there's all kinds of things, all kinds of different little flowers, and there's like hoverflies over here, and yeah, beautiful anyway. Okay, so this one is not technically a pond, but this was suggested to me by one of the subscribers of the channel, actually, in one of the comments, about using like Pyrex dishes and putting like lots of little pebbles in and just putting enough water in to cover the pebbles, just so some of the pebbles are like sort of out of the water, and basically it gives insects a place to land and hydrate. So we quite often think about birds hydrating in the summer, but we don't think about insects and bees and all the other kinds of things. So this one isn't really supposed to be great. I do let it sort of go right down, and then I top it back up again. It's not supposed to be like, dead clean or suitable for like frogs. This one isn't with frogs or other life in mind. This one is just with insects in mind. And there is actually a little green there's quite a lot of mosquito larvae in here, but there is a little green fly on here right now having a little drink. I'm going to try and show you. And there is also I quite often get a lot of hoverflies over here having a little drink, so that's pretty cute, I think. And here we are at pond number 4. Pond number 4? Yeah, well there's 5, technically there's 5. I've lost count now. So yeah, this is the 4th pond, but like the 5th source of water. And this one was a baby bath that I found in one of the videos. I think I'll put that in the description as well, where it was asking for sort of certain things, and I was getting them, and I found this baby bath outside somebody's house, and I was like, oh, I've been looking for a pond for the front garden. So yeah, so this pond is in the front garden, not the back garden, and it's just been amazing. I dug it in, I've put some of the duckweed in, which has gone like, it's made a beautiful little carpet. There's been so many little things in here. There's like little snails, and like there's been little pond skaters in here. I went and foraged some water mint from a local pond and had that in here, and that's growing like beautifully. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's really cool. Yeah, and again I just put some little stones in and some rocks and just let it do its thing, really. That's all there is to do. Yeah, as you can see, it's very pretty. I love this one. Okay, what I'm trying to show you here, but it's not showing up very well on the camera, is that we've got a water boatman. Woo! Yeah, so as you can see, there are so many different ways that you can, make a pond. It doesn't have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be like a proper pond liner, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to have, lots of ornaments in it. It just needs to have a bit of cover and some stones in the bottom. I will put a link in the description to like some little websites as to how to make ponds, different ways. I'll put in different websites that show you different ways of doing it, maybe a few videos as well for like different methods of learning. I know that I appreciate videos when I'm learning, so but yeah. And think about maybe having like different kinds of ponds. As you've seen in my garden, I've got some that are quite open, some that are quite hidden, like this little secret one that you can't even see it. Like, which bit's hiding it? Oh, it's this. It's in there. This one's quite hidden, and some are in the ground, some are over ground, and yeah, they're dead easy really, and they're so vital for your garden's health, for the biodiversity, for birds, for wildlife, for nature, especially they're like the little insect hydrator, because we think about birds but we don't think about insects, and if we want things to be pollinating our plants, and then we need to make sure that they're not just getting pollen, that they're also getting water. I think that's about it. So I'm just distracted. There was a massive bee on the lavender, big pollen saddlebag, because it was really cool. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments, or please provide tips and hints, or examples of ponds that you've put in your garden. I'd be really interested to see different ways. I do love a good pond. And that's that. Thank you. I love you very much. Blessings on your day.